Whoa, now before you dislike this video, I love DC. I freaking love DC. Some of my favorite DC cartoons was Young Justice and Teen Titans. Freaking Batman's one of my favorite superheroes. I'm one of the people who defends Arkham Knight like crazy. I defend that shit. Arkham Knight was an amazing game. I constantly check in on DC Comics. I don't watch the TV shows. I think they're corny. But I love Man of Steel. I like the Batman Nolan trilogy, specifically the second one. I think that movie is literally one of the greatest movies ever created. Not just superhero movies, movies in general. And once again, I actually loved Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was the perfect way to start off the DCU, DCEU. Is that what they're calling it? DCEU? Yeah, I thought that was the perfect way to start it. Now that that's out the way, yeah, Justice League is complete garbage. Complete garbage. Hot garbage. Steaming pile of shit. Dog shit. Ass. Turd bucket. Like, Justice League is garbage. But it's an entertaining piece of garbage. I'm not gonna lie. Even though Justice League is not a good movie, it's very entertaining. Very entertaining. Like, visually. I thought the CGI and the action scenes were great in my opinion. Even though I do feel like my problem with the movie, one of my problems with the movie is like I felt like it's overly CGI'd. Like at some points I was like, am I watching Beowulf? Like you know how that whole Beowulf movie was just straight CGI? That's what this movie reminded me of at some points. But entertaining, entertaining movie. I saw it twice. First time I saw it, I had a little bit of the herbs, you know what I'm saying? And when I watch a movie when I'm on that shit, I tend to overly critique movies. So I remember I went back and watched like an old ass movie. Like actually, I went back and watched like Spider-Man, and that movie was trash to me. But it's because I saw every flaw. I swear it does it to me. But I was thinking that it was the herb that was getting to me. That's why I was over critiquing. Maybe it's not that bad, right? So I go back, watch it when I'm good, not on anything. It still is bad. It still is bad because it didn't change anything. It really didn't change anything. So I'm gonna start by saying some things that I did enjoy about the movie. Because I did. The movie was bad, but it was enjoyable. Like it's a difference between like a Transformers movie where the movie is bad and it isn't enjoyable. Like it's a difference. Like I thought the movie was enjoyable, but it's not a good movie. Once again, the action scenes were good. I'm gonna try not to spoil too much, but there was this scene. It's a spoiler warning. There was a scene with they had like the Atlanteans, the Amazons, and just the humans. But so they even had like Lantern Corps members. Like they had like a bunch of like race of people or beings fighting the main villain, which I forgot his name. I don't really care to, the villain was trash, but I'm gonna get to that later. But they had this scene where all these people fought, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Like that was one of those points where I thought this movie really hit right. Where it was really going well. I like Aquaman. I thought Aquaman was pretty cool. I like the design of all the costumes. That's one thing I gotta say. Everybody's costumes are on point in my opinion. Straight look crisp. Batman looked like a beast. Aquaman looked like a beast. Flash looked tight as shit. And I love all the flash scenes. The way they did it with how it slowed down. Like I felt like I was inside the Speed Force when the Flash did his part. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. All the Flash scenes was dope. Wonder Woman, in my opinion, is the best part of the movie because she's the most developed out of anybody in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually felt like I know who Wonder Woman is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, is that all my? I can't be all my pauses, man. Besides the movie being enjoyable visually, the end credit scene was probably my favorite part of the whole movie. Both the end credit scenes with I'm trying not to spoil it, but Those two end credit scenes that will really most likely make everybody pop. Like I kind of got like a boner at the end credit scenes. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite characters of all time came out. You know what I'm saying? I like this. I like the DC version of this character better than the Marvel version. You could probably figure out who it is, but shit, I straight got an erection from that shit. It was dope. Um, but besides that, I think that might be it. Also, I mean, you should already know. It's not really a spoiler, but it's a spoiler. Just saying, spoiler. Superman, he's in the movie, and the scene where he was resurrected and he had fought the Justice League. That scene was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but there was one particular part where him and the Flash like had this little, altercation. It was just like it was so badass. Like like one thing I can say about the movie, it had points where it showed so much promise, so much promise. It had points where it showed so much promise, but then it straight disappointed me. So we're gonna get into some flaws. I'm not. I want to keep it balanced, but hopefully I might not. Hopefully I don't go overboard with these flaws. I had a lot of problems with the movie, but the story was trash. The story was really trash. I mean, like, it just wasn't nothing to it. Like, we're building a team to fight this enemy, and I'm like, okay, it's done before. It can work. They did in Avengers. Okay, cool. But the way the team came together was just like, what? Like it just happened. Like there was like they just like I don't know, man. Like when they got together, I didn't feel rewarded because it just happened. Like they just came together. I was like, what? And then the villain that was fighting was just like annoying as shit. Like, mommy, I want my like. He kept yelling, mother. I'm like, what the, what, who's your mom? Like, what's going on right now? Once again, I don't know too much about that character, so But I'm just saying, like, I was just like, but regardless of that, he just wasn't a good villain. Like, he was, you know how people criticize Marvel about having generic, boring ass villains? Well, DC did it just as bad with this generic ass, boring ass villain. Like he was generic, boring, nothing to him, no depth, no layer. Didn't know shit about him. Besides, he tried to take over the planet ages ago. One dimensional. Cool design, but nothing much to him. He had a bunch of random ass bug things flying. I mean, the enemies wasn't that great at all. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, the story just it was just and then it was short. Like the movie felt like an hour and 30 minutes. I'm not sure how long the runtime was, but the movie was way too short. And I'm just I'm just like that's it. I was like that's it. You know what I'm saying? But also another thing I gotta say is actually this is a positive. But I like the fact that they played with the fact that these guys are kind of outcasts and misfits and loners in their own way. I kind of like how they kind of played with that. With Flash being a loner in his own way, Batman being a loner in his own way, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, they're all kind of being alone and being misfits to the world. And these misfits slash loners just come together and form this team and they share this kind of bond. I kind of like what they did with that, but they didn't push it enough. They didn't take it to the next level to where it would hit home. I feel like they could have really expanded upon that, but I was getting that vibe. That was what they was trying to go for, but they didn't really expand upon it. Um, Also, besides the story, I didn't. I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand. Couldn't stand what they did to Batman. Why they make Batman such a little bitch in this movie, bro? Like constantly getting beat up. Like there's one scene where you just bow down to this character. I'm just like, come on, you're Batman, bro. Like in the last movie, you was like, fuck you, bro. I'm gonna kill you. This was like, oh no, no, no. Like he was this little bitch, always getting beat up. Like literally, there was a scene where everybody was wrecking the little bug dudes, And this dude Batman's getting thrashed. So I'm like, what's going on right now? You're Batman. Where's your electric gauntlets or you know what I'm saying? Like you supposed to come prepared. Like I don't know. I didn't like how they did Batman. Um, Flash was corny as shit. Like some of his jokes hit, some of his jokes didn't. A lot of times it was face palming, but I guess he's supposed to be like the main comic relief, but it wasn't working. Also, Flash, he didn't really. I mean, he did work, but he didn't really do work. Like I didn't like the fact that he was green. You know, like I don't know, like he never been in combat and like or any type of combat. It's just like I didn't like that, you know, because when I picture a Justice League movie, I want to see everybody just go at it, just wrecking shit. You know, this is Justice League. This is not no side story. This is the main. This is the bread and butter. This is Justice League. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting things on huge, widely epic proportions, and I didn't get it that way. You know, and I'll expand upon that a little bit more. But you know, on Aquaman, you know, he was awesome. But once again, the fact that we didn't have a movie before this with him, with a lot of these characters, I mean, like I don't know them. Like I know them, but I don't know these iterations of these characters, so I don't have any attachment or feeling towards them. You know, once again, like I said, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is the only one I actually felt connected with. Um, Cyborg, that's not Cyborg. Cyborg to me is always going to be the Teen Titans Cyborg from the cartoon, because this Cyborg, he didn't even use his intelligence for like they did mention he was smart and all this stuff, but like it was less of him using his brains and using his smart, but more of him using his alien technology. And I'm not sure about the whole origin of Cyborg, but I didn't realize that you know his whole body, his whole body, his cyborg part, his robot parts were alien technology. I thought that was like built from like just normal human technology. So, and I didn't like the fact that you know, I just didn't like the fact that it was more the suit. It was more the alien technology doing running things more than him, you know, working through stuff with his brain, showing off his smarts, and I don't know, man. I could keep going. I don't want to keep bashing this movie because once again, I do think you should watch this movie. Even though I do think it's a garbage movie, it's a hot piece of shit. It's enjoyable. Like visually, it's enjoyable. You just got this is the definition of a popcorn film. Turn off your brain and just enjoy what you're watching. Enjoy what you're seeing. That's all it is. Because if you start breaking it down, start looking deep into it, you're going to see so many flaws, and it just falls apart. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say. Once again, man, it's a disappointment. I mean, I guess I'm kind of excited. Like one thing I can say, I feel more better about the DCEU than I did before. But for this to be a Justice League movie, it never reached that epic proportion like Avengers, like the first Avengers did. First Avengers hit that epic proportion. It hit that epicness. This movie didn't hit it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was epic, but it wasn't Justice League epic. You know what I'm saying? Like when I expect to see a Justice League movie, I expect to see something just nothing but crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that. But hey, maybe next time. Hey, I have more confidence in the DCEU, even though I'm not like you know a big fan of the movies. Because the only DCEU movie I actually think that was actually good is Man of Steel. Other ones in my opinion are even Wonder Woman. Only half of Wonder Woman is good. You know what I'm saying? That's a 50% garbage. So yeah. But anyways, it's your boy JGZ. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. I got more content coming, so stay tuned. Holla back at your boy.